How to Talk in English. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something very important. We will learn how to talk in English with confidence. Many people want to speak English fluently. They study for months. Some study for years. They learn many grammar rules. They memorize many words. But when someone speaks to them in English, they become quiet. They feel nervous. They forget easy words. They cannot make simple sentences. If you feel this way, do not worry. You are not alone. Millions of English learners have the same problem. The good news is that speaking English is easier than you think. You do not need perfect grammar on your first day. You do not need thousands of words. You only need the courage to begin. Today I will tell you the story of a young man named Adam. His story will show you that anyone can learn to speak English. Adam lived in a small town. He was a kind and hard-working young man. He had one big dream. He wanted to speak English with confidence. He wanted to travel. He wanted to meet people from different countries. He wanted to get a better job one day. He knew that English could help him reach his dreams, but there was one problem. He was afraid to speak. Every time he wanted to say something in English, fear stopped him. His hands became cold. His heart beat faster. His mind became empty. Even simple words disappeared from his memory. He felt sad because he studied every day, but he still could not speak. One afternoon, Adam visited a small library. He wanted to find an easy English book. While he was looking at the shelves, an old teacher noticed him. The teacher smiled and asked, "Are you learning English?" Adam smiled politely and answered, "Yes, but I cannot speak well." The teacher nodded because he had heard the same answer many times before. He invited Adam to sit down. Then he asked a simple question. "Why are you afraid?" Adam stayed silent for a moment. Then he said, "I am afraid of making mistakes. I think people will laugh at me." The teacher smiled kindly. "Everyone makes mistakes," he said. "Even fluent speakers make mistakes. The difference is that they keep talking. They do not stop because of fear." Adam listened carefully. These words were simple, but they touched his heart. Nobody had explained English learning in such an easy way before. The teacher picked up a notebook and wrote one short sentence, "I can speak English." Then he looked at Adam and said, "Read this sentence." Adam read it slowly. "I can speak English." The teacher smiled again. "Very good. Now say it without looking." Adam repeated it. This time he spoke with a little more confidence. The teacher said, "That is how every journey begins. One simple sentence, then another, then another. Small practice every day becomes great confidence." Adam could not believe it. He always thought he needed difficult grammar before speaking. Now he understood something important. Speaking comes from practice, not from perfection. Before Adam left the library, the teacher gave him one small task. He said, "Every morning, stand in front of a mirror. Smile. Speak 5 simple English sentences about yourself. Do not worry if they are perfect. Just speak." Adam thanked the teacher and went home. The next morning, he stood in front of the mirror. At first, he felt shy. Then he took a deep breath and smiled. "My name is Adam. I live in a small town. I want to learn English. I will practice every day. I can speak English." His voice was not strong, but he finished every sentence. When he looked at himself again, he smiled. For the first time, speaking English did not feel impossible. It felt like the beginning of a new journey. That evening, Adam wrote one sentence in his notebook. "Today I started speaking. Tomorrow I will speak again." He closed the notebook with hope in his heart. He knew the road would not be easy. He knew he would make mistakes. But he also knew that every great English speaker had once been a beginner. His journey had finally begun. Chapter 2. The first secret to speaking English. The next morning, Adam woke up early. He remembered the teacher's advice. He did not check his phone first. He did not open his grammar book. He stood in front of the mirror with a smile. Then he spoke 5 simple sentences. Good morning. My name is Adam. I am learning English. I will practice today. I can do it. The sentences were short. They were easy. But Adam felt different. He was speaking without fear. He repeated the same exercise every morning. After a few days, speaking became easier. He no longer felt nervous when he looked into the mirror. Later that day, Adam went back to the library. The teacher was reading a book. When he saw Adam, he smiled and asked, "Did you practice?" "Yes," Adam answered happily. "Very good," the teacher said. "Now I will teach you another secret." Adam listened carefully. The teacher said, "Many students only study English. They do not use English. That is why they improve slowly. English is like walking. You cannot learn to walk by reading a book. You must take steps. Speaking English is the same." Adam understood the idea. It was simple, but it made sense. The teacher gave him another task. Today, speak English when you are alone. Describe everything you see. Adam left the library and started walking home. He looked at the sky. "The sky is blue," he said. He saw a tree. "The tree is tall." He saw a dog. "The dog is running." He saw a little boy with a ball. "The boy is playing." He smiled because he was speaking naturally. Nobody was watching him. Nobody was laughing. He felt relaxed. He noticed that he already knew many simple words. He had only been afraid to use them. When Adam reached home, his mother was making dinner. She smiled and asked, "How was your day?" Adam answered in English first. "It was good." Then he explained everything in his own language. His mother smiled because she saw his confidence growing. After dinner, Adam opened an easy English storybook. This time, he did not stop at every new word. He read slowly. He understood the main idea. When he found a difficult word, he guessed its meaning from the sentence. Then he continued reading. He did not let one unknown word stop him. The next day, the teacher gave him another lesson. He said, "Do not translate every sentence in your mind. Think in simple English." Adam asked, "How can I do that?" The teacher smiled. "When you drink water, think, 'The water is cold.' When you open a door, think, 'I am opening the door.' Use easy sentences. Your brain will slowly become faster." Adam decided to try. The whole day he spoke quietly to himself. "I am walking. I am eating lunch. I am reading a book. I am writing. I am happy." At first, it felt strange, but after some time, it became natural. He was no longer translating every sentence. He was thinking directly in English. A few days later, Adam met his friend Ben. Ben asked, "Can we practice English together?" Adam smiled. "Yes, let's try." Their conversation was very simple. "How are you?" "I am fine." "What did you do today?" "I read a story." "Did you learn new words?" "Yes, I learned 5 new words." The conversation lasted only a few minutes. They made many mistakes. Sometimes they forgot words. Sometimes they laughed. But they never stopped speaking. When they finished, Ben said, "Today was fun." Adam agreed. "Yes, we spoke English. That is the most important thing." That evening, Adam opened his notebook again. He wrote another lesson. Speaking every day is better than studying once a week. He looked at the sentence for a few seconds. Then he smiled. He was beginning to understand the real secret. English was not becoming easier because he was learning difficult grammar. English was becoming easier because he was using it every single day. He closed the notebook and looked out of the window. Tomorrow would be another day to practice, another day to improve, another day to speak without fear. Chapter 3. Adam builds confidence through daily conversations. Adam continued his new routine every day. He woke up early. He stood in front of the mirror. He spoke simple English for 5 minutes. Then he read one short English story. After that, he listened to an easy English lesson while eating breakfast. These small habits did not take much time, but they slowly changed his life. He no longer waited for the perfect moment. He practiced whenever he had a chance. One afternoon, Adam returned to the library. The teacher was waiting with a smile. "Welcome back, Adam," he said. "How do you feel now?" Adam smiled and answered, "I still make mistakes, but I am not afraid anymore." The teacher nodded with happiness. That is real progress. A good learner is not the one who never makes mistakes. A good learner is the one who keeps speaking. Adam thanked him. Then the teacher gave him another simple task. From today, speak English with real people. Even 1 minute is enough. Adam felt a little nervous. Speaking to himself was easy. Speaking to another person was different. But he wanted to improve, so he accepted the challenge. The next day, Adam went to a small coffee shop. He walked to the counter with a smile. The worker looked at him and asked, "Hello, what would you like?" Adam took a deep breath. "I would like a cup of coffee, please," the worker smiled. "Sure." A few moments later, the coffee was ready. "Thank you," Adam said. "You are welcome," the worker replied. It was only a short conversation, but Adam felt very happy. He had spoken English with a stranger. Nothing bad happened. Nobody laughed. Nobody criticized him. Instead, the conversation was simple and friendly. When he left the shop, he smiled all the way home. That evening, Ben came to visit him. "Let's practice English," Ben said. Adam agreed immediately. They sat in the garden and started talking. "What is your favorite season?" Ben asked. "I like spring," Adam answered. "Why?" "Because the weather is nice and the flowers are beautiful," Ben smiled. "What do you do on weekends?" "I read English stories. I watch English videos. I practice speaking." Ben laughed. "You really love English now." Adam laughed too. "Yes, before I studied English. Now I enjoy English." The teacher's advice was changing everything. A few days later, Adam noticed another improvement. He was thinking less in his own language. Simple English sentences came into his mind naturally. When he woke up, he thought, "Today will be a good day." When he finished breakfast, he thought, "Now I will study." When he walked outside, he thought, "The weather is beautiful." These small thoughts helped him speak faster. He no longer needed to translate every sentence. One evening, Adam called the teacher. "I want to thank you," he said. The teacher smiled. "You do not need to thank me. You are helping yourself. I only showed you the way." Then the teacher asked one important question. "How many hours do you practice every day?" Adam thought for a moment. "About 30 minutes," the teacher smiled again. "That is enough. Many students study for 3 hours one day and then stop for a week. You study a little every day. That is why you are improving." Adam understood another valuable lesson. Success does not come from studying for many hours once. Success comes from practicing every single day. The following weekend, Adam joined a small English-speaking club in his town. At first, he was nervous because many people were there. Some spoke better than him, some knew more words, but he remembered the teacher's advice. Do not compare yourself with others. Compare yourself with yesterday. The meeting started. Everyone introduced themselves. "My name is Sarah." "My name is David." "My name is Emma." Then it was Adam's turn. He stood up with confidence. "Hello everyone, my name is Adam. I am learning English because I want to travel and meet new people. I practice every day and I am happy to be here." Everyone smiled and welcomed him warmly. The meeting continued with simple conversations. People talked about books, food, hobbies, and daily life. Adam did not understand every word, but he understood the main ideas. When he did not know a word, he politely asked, "Can you explain that, please?" The other learners happily helped him. When the meeting ended, Adam felt proud. He realized something important. Speaking English was not a test. It was communication. People were not looking for perfect grammar. They wanted to understand each other. That night, Adam opened his notebook again and wrote another lesson. Confidence grows every time I choose to speak instead of staying silent. He closed the notebook with a smile. Every day was making him stronger. Every conversation was bringing him closer to his dream. He was no longer the shy learner who was afraid of simple sentences. He was becoming a confident English speaker, one conversation at a time. Chapter 4. Adam learns to think and speak like a fluent English speaker. Another week passed, and Adam noticed a big change. Speaking English was becoming easier every day. He still made mistakes, but he no longer stopped in the middle of a sentence. He spoke slowly. He spoke clearly. Most importantly, he enjoyed speaking. His confidence was growing because he practiced every single day. One morning, Adam visited the teacher again. The teacher smiled and asked, "Tell me, Adam, what is the biggest difference between today and your first day?" Adam thought for a moment. "Before, I was afraid to speak. Now I am happy to try." The teacher nodded. "Very good. Today I will teach you another important lesson. If you want to speak English fluently, you must stop trying to translate everything. You must start thinking in English." Adam had heard these words before, but now he wanted to understand them better. "How can I think in English all the time?" he asked. The teacher smiled. "It is easier than you think. Begin with your daily life. Use simple thoughts. Do not use difficult sentences." Adam decided to practice immediately. When he walked outside, he looked at the bright sky. "The sky is clear today," he said quietly. He saw children playing football. They are happy. He watched a bus stop near the road. The bus is late. He entered a small grocery store. "I need some milk." Everything around him became part of his English lesson. Later that afternoon, Adam sat in the park with his notebook. Instead of writing grammar rules, he wrote about his day. "I woke up early. I drank tea. I walked to the library. I met my teacher. I learned something new." Every sentence was short. Every sentence was easy. But every sentence helped him think in English. When he finished writing, he read every sentence aloud. He listened carefully to his own voice. If he made a mistake, he corrected it and continued. He did not become frustrated. He knew mistakes were part of learning. The next day, Ben invited Adam to his house. "Let's speak only English for 20 minutes, Ben suggested. Adam smiled. "That sounds like a good idea." During their conversation, they spoke about many simple topics. "What do you usually do after school?" Ben asked. "I usually read English stories," Adam replied. "What is your favorite book?" "I like short stories because they are easy to understand." "What do you want to do in the future?" "I want to travel and speak English with people from different countries." Sometimes they forgot a word. Instead of changing to their own language, they explained it with easier English. Ben wanted to say umbrella, but he forgot the word. He smiled and said, "The thing we use when it rains." Adam laughed. "Oh, you mean an umbrella?" "Yes," Ben replied. Both friends smiled. Adam learned another important lesson. You do not need to know every word. If you forget a word, explain your idea in another way. Communication is more important than perfection. A few days later, the teacher gave the class a speaking activity. Each student had to describe a picture for 1 minute. Some students looked worried. Adam also felt a little nervous, but this time he remembered everything he had learned. He looked at the picture carefully. There is a family in the park. The children are playing. The parents are sitting on a bench. The weather is sunny. Everyone looks happy. His sentences were simple. His grammar was not perfect, but everyone understood him. The teacher smiled proudly. Excellent, Adam. You spoke naturally. You did not stop. That is the real goal. After class, Adam walked home with confidence. He realized that fluent speakers do not always use difficult words. They simply share their ideas clearly. That made him feel relaxed. He no longer wanted to sound perfect. He only wanted people to understand him. That evening, Adam watched a short English video. He listened carefully. Then he repeated every sentence. Sometimes he paused the video and copied the speaker's pronunciation. He noticed that his accent was improving little by little. Listening and repeating became one of his favorite daily habits. Before going to bed, Adam opened his notebook once again. He wrote another lesson. Fluent English is not about difficult words. It is about clear ideas, daily practice, and the courage to keep speaking. He smiled as he closed the notebook. Every new habit was making him stronger. Every new day was bringing him closer to his dream. He finally understood that fluency was not something that happened overnight. It was built one simple sentence at a time, and he was enjoying every step of the journey. Chapter 5. Adam discovers the daily habits of fluent English speakers. A few months had passed since Adam began his English journey. He smiled when he looked back. On his first day, he was afraid to speak one simple sentence. Now he could have short conversations without fear. He still made mistakes, but he no longer worried about them. He understood that every mistake was helping him improve. His confidence was growing because he practiced every day. One morning, Adam visited the teacher again. The teacher welcomed him with a smile. "You look much happier now," he said. "Yes," Adam replied. "I feel better every day. But I still want to become fluent." The teacher nodded. "Then today I will show you the daily habits of fluent English speakers." Adam opened his notebook immediately. The teacher began. "Fluent speakers do not wait for free time. They make English part of their daily life." Adam listened carefully. "First," the teacher said, "read something every day. It can be one page. It can be one short story. The important thing is to read regularly." Adam wrote the first habit. Read every day. The teacher continued. "Second, listen to English every day. Listen while you walk. Listen while you travel. Listen while you relax. Your ears must become familiar with the language." Adam wrote again. Listen every day. Third, the teacher said, speak every day. Even if nobody is with you, speak to yourself, describe your room, describe your plans, describe your day. Adam smiled. "I already do that." "Very good," the teacher replied. "Never stop." Then he added another habit. Write a few simple sentences every day. Writing helps you organize your thoughts. When your thoughts become clear, your speaking also becomes clear. Adam wrote the fourth habit. Write every day. Finally, the teacher smiled. "The last habit is the most important." Adam looked up. "Enjoy the process." Adam looked surprised. The teacher explained, "If you only study because you are worried, you will become tired. But if you enjoy learning, you will continue for a long time." Those words stayed in Adam's mind. That afternoon, he decided to follow every habit. He read one short English story. He listened to a simple English podcast while walking home. He spoke to himself about everything he saw. Then he wrote a short paragraph about his day. The next morning, he noticed something new. Speaking English felt more natural. He did not need to think as much before answering simple questions. His mind was becoming faster. A few days later, Adam met an old friend named Omar. Omar asked, "Your English sounds much better now. What is your secret?" Adam smiled. "There is no secret. I just practice every day." "How many hours do you study?" Omar asked. "Only about 30 minutes. Omar looked surprised. "Only 30 minutes?" Adam nodded. "Yes, but I never skip a day." Omar smiled. "I study for 3 hours on Sunday, then I stop for the rest of the week." Adam remembered the teacher's advice. It is better to practice a little every day than to study for many hours only once. Omar agreed. "I will start doing that." The following weekend, Adam joined another English conversation club. This time, he felt relaxed. He introduced himself with confidence. He answered questions without fear. He even asked questions to other learners. One woman said, "Your English is very clear." Adam smiled politely. "Thank you. I still have a lot to learn." She replied, "We all do." That answer made Adam happy. He understood that learning English never really ends. Even fluent speakers continue learning. On his way home, Adam thought about his journey. He remembered the shy boy who could not say one sentence. Now he was talking to new people. He was reading English stories. He was thinking in English. He was enjoying every lesson. When he reached home, he opened his notebook one more time. He wrote today's lesson. Small daily habits create great success. Read, listen, speak, and write every day. Never stop learning. He closed the notebook with a smile. He knew he was not perfect, but he also knew something much more important. He was becoming better every single day. That was the real meaning of success. He looked at the mirror before going to bed. Then he smiled and spoke one simple sentence. "Tomorrow I will be better than I am today." Those words filled him with hope. He turned off the light and went to sleep, ready for another day of learning, another day of practice, and another step toward becoming a fluent English speaker. Chapter 6. Adam faces his biggest speaking challenge. Another month passed, and Adam continued his daily routine. Every morning, he practiced speaking in front of the mirror. Every afternoon, he read an English story. Every evening, he listened to English conversations and repeated them aloud. His confidence was much stronger than before. He no longer felt afraid when he spoke simple English. But deep inside, he knew that one big challenge was still waiting for him. One Monday morning, the teacher entered the classroom with exciting news. "Next Friday," he said, "our school will have an English speaking day. Students from many schools will visit us. Some teachers from other cities will also come. Every student must give a short speech in English." The classroom became very quiet. Some students looked excited. Some students looked worried. Adam also felt nervous. He had spoken with friends. He had spoken with his teacher. He had even spoken with strangers. But speaking in front of many people was different. That evening, Adam could not stop thinking about the event. What if I forget my words? What if I make mistakes? What if everyone laughs at me? Many negative thoughts filled his mind. The next day, Adam visited his teacher. He looked worried. "I am afraid," he admitted. The teacher smiled kindly. "That feeling is normal. Every speaker feels nervous before standing in front of people." "But how can I stop being afraid?" Adam asked. The teacher answered with a smile. "You do not need to stop being afraid. You only need to speak even when you feel afraid." Adam listened carefully. The teacher continued. "Courage does not mean having no fear. Courage means taking action even when fear is present." Those words gave Adam new confidence. The teacher gave him another simple plan. Practice your speech every day. Speak slowly. Smile. Do not try to memorize every word. Understand your ideas. If you forget one sentence, simply continue. Adam thanked him. From that day, he practiced every evening. He stood in front of the mirror. He imagined a large audience. He smiled. Then he began. Hello, everyone. My name is Adam. Today, I want to share my English learning journey. At first, he stopped many times. Sometimes he forgot a sentence. Sometimes he became nervous. But he never gave up. Every new practice made him better. After 3 days, Ben came to help him. I will be your audience, Ben said. Adam smiled. Thank you. Ben sat on a chair while Adam stood in front of him. Adam gave his speech from beginning to end. When he finished, Ben clapped happily. You did very well. Really? Adam asked. Yes, Ben replied. Just speak a little slower and smile more. Adam thanked his friend. He practiced again. This time, he spoke more naturally. The big day finally arrived. The school hall was full of students and teachers. Many parents were also there. Adam looked around. His heart started beating faster. His hands felt cold again. For a moment, he remembered the shy boy he used to be. Then he remembered something else. He remembered every morning in front of the mirror. He remembered every conversation with Ben. He remembered every lesson from his teacher. He took a deep breath. Then he smiled. His name was called. Adam walked onto the stage. He looked at the audience. Everyone was waiting quietly. He took another deep breath. Then he began. Hello, everyone. My name is Adam. I want to tell you about my English journey. A few months ago, I was afraid to speak English. I knew many words, but I had no confidence. One day, I learned something important. You do not become fluent by waiting. You become fluent by practicing every day. I started with simple sentences. I spoke to myself. I read easy stories. I listened every day. I made many mistakes. But I never stopped. Today, I am standing here because I believed in small daily practice. If I can improve, you can improve too. The hall became silent. Everyone listened carefully. When Adam finished, loud applause filled the room. His teacher smiled proudly. Ben stood up and clapped with excitement. Many students walked toward Adam after the program. One student asked, "How did you become so confident?" Adam smiled. "I was never confident at the beginning. Confidence came because I practiced every day." Another student asked, "What is the best way to learn English?" Adam answered, "Keep your English simple. Speak every day. Do not fear mistakes. Small practice brings big success." That evening, Adam returned home with great happiness. He opened his notebook one more time. He wrote another important lesson. The biggest challenge is not speaking in front of people. The biggest challenge is believing in yourself. When you believe in yourself and practice every day, confidence follows naturally. He closed the notebook with a smile. Today was not the end of his journey. It was the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He knew there was still much to learn, but now he also knew one important truth. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner who refused to give up. Chapter 7. Adam inspires others to speak English with confidence. A few days passed after English Speaking Day. Adam's speech became the main topic at school. Many students remembered his simple words. They did not remember difficult grammar. They remembered his confidence. They remembered his honest story. They realized that fluency was possible for everyone. One morning, Adam was walking through the schoolyard. A young student came to him with a smile. "Hello, Adam." "Hello," Adam replied. The student looked a little shy. "I watched your speech." "Thank you," Adam said kindly. "I want to speak English like you." Adam smiled. You can. The student looked surprised. But my English is very weak. Adam shook his head. My English was also weak. I only started with simple sentences. The student became curious. What should I do first? Adam answered with a smile. Do not try to learn everything in one day. Learn a little every day. Speak every day. Read every day. Listen every day. Never stop because of mistakes. The student thanked him. I will start today. Adam smiled. That is the best decision. Later that week, the teacher invited Adam to speak to a new group of English learners. The students were beginners. Some looked nervous. Some looked afraid. Adam remembered himself on the first day. He understood their feelings. He walked to the front of the classroom. He smiled warmly. Then he began. Hello, everyone. My name is Adam. A few months ago, I was sitting where you are sitting now. I wanted to speak English, but I was afraid. I thought my grammar was not good. I thought my vocabulary was too small. I thought people would laugh at me. But I was wrong. The biggest problem was not my English. The biggest problem was my fear. The students listened carefully. Adam continued. I started with 5 simple sentences every morning. I read one short story every day. I listened to easy English. I spoke whenever I had a chance. I made many mistakes. But every mistake made me better. He looked around the room. Then he smiled. If you wait to become perfect, you will wait forever. If you start today, you will improve every day. The classroom became very quiet. Every student was listening. One girl raised her hand. What should I do if I forget a word while speaking? Adam smiled. Do not stop. Use another easy word. Explain your idea. Speaking is about communication. It is not about using perfect words, another student asked. What if people laugh? Adam answered calmly. Most people will not laugh. And even if someone laughs, keep speaking. You are learning. There is nothing wrong with learning. The teacher smiled proudly. She could see that Adam was no longer just a student. He was becoming a guide for others. After class, many students thanked him. Some asked for advice. Some asked for book recommendations. Others asked how they could practice every day. Adam gave everyone the same simple answer. Keep your English simple. Practice every day. Believe in yourself. Never give up. That evening, Adam walked home with a peaceful heart. He remembered the first day he met the old teacher in the library. If that teacher had not encouraged him, his life might have been very different. Now it was his turn to encourage others. When he reached home, he opened his notebook again. He turned to the last empty page. Then he wrote one final lesson. Knowledge becomes more valuable when you share it with others. Learn with patience. Practice with courage. Help others whenever you can, and your own learning will become even stronger. He closed the notebook slowly. He smiled. His dream was no longer only about speaking English. His new dream was to help other learners speak English with confidence too. He looked out of the window and thought about the future. He knew there would always be new words to learn. There would always be better ways to improve. But he also knew one thing for sure. He would never stop learning. He would never stop practicing, and he would never stop encouraging others to believe in themselves. Chapter 8. The final lesson, conclusion, and moral of the story. The next morning, Adam woke up with a smile. He walked to his desk and opened the small notebook that had been with him since the first day of his journey. He slowly turned the pages. Every page reminded him of a lesson. Every sentence reminded him of a small victory. On the first page, he had written, I can speak English. At that time, he did not fully believe those words. Today, he smiled because they had become true. He looked out of the window. The sun was shining brightly. He took a deep breath and said, "Thank you for this journey." He knew that learning English had changed more than his language. It had changed his thinking. It had changed his confidence. It had changed the way he looked at challenges. Later that day, Adam visited the library one more time. The old teacher was sitting in the same chair, reading a book. Adam walked toward him with a smile. "Hello, teacher." The teacher looked up and smiled warmly. "Hello, Adam. You look very happy today." "I am," Adam replied. "I came here to thank you." The teacher closed his book. "You do not need to thank me." "But if I had not met you," Adam said, "I might still be afraid to speak English." The teacher smiled gently. "I only showed you the first step. You walked the whole journey yourself." Adam became quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I finally understand that learning English is not about being perfect. It is about practicing every day." The teacher nodded. "That is the lesson I hoped you would learn." Before Adam left, the teacher gave him one final piece of advice. Never stop learning. Language is like a journey. There is always something new to discover. Stay curious, stay patient, keep speaking, keep reading, keep listening, keep helping others. Adam thanked him again and left the library with a grateful heart. On his way home, he saw a young boy sitting alone with an English book. The boy looked worried. Adam walked over and smiled. "Are you learning English?" The boy nodded. "Yes, but I think English is too difficult." Adam sat beside him. "I used to think the same." The boy looked surprised. "Really?" "Yes," Adam replied. "I was afraid to speak. I made many mistakes, but I never stopped." The boy asked, "What should I do?" Adam smiled. "Start with simple words. Speak simple sentences. Read easy stories. Listen every day. Practice whenever you can. Do not wait to become perfect. Improvement comes through practice." The boy smiled with hope. "I will start today." Adam stood up and said, "That is the best decision you can make." As he walked away, he realized that his journey had come full circle. One day, someone had encouraged him. Today, he was encouraging someone else. That made him happier than anything else. That evening, Adam returned home and opened his notebook for the last time. He wrote one final message. Every great journey begins with one small step. Every fluent speaker begins with one simple sentence. Keep learning, keep practicing, never stop believing in yourself. He closed the notebook slowly and placed it on his desk. It was no longer just a notebook. It was the story of his courage, his hard work, and his growth. Before going to sleep, Adam stood in front of the same mirror where his journey had started. He smiled at his reflection. Then he spoke clearly. "I can speak English." This time there was no fear in his voice. There was only confidence. There was only hope. There was only happiness. His journey had taught him that success does not come from talent alone. Success comes from small daily actions. A few minutes of practice every day can change your future. One page of reading can teach you new ideas. One short conversation can build confidence. One mistake can become a valuable lesson if you keep moving forward. Now it is your turn. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait until you know every grammar rule. Do not wait until your vocabulary becomes very large. Start today. Speak today. Read today. Listen today. Write today. Keep your English simple. Practice every day. Believe in yourself. One day, you will look back and realize that the small steps you took every day became the biggest success of your life. Thank you for watching this lesson. I hope Adam's story has inspired you to begin or continue your own English journey. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more easy English stories and speaking lessons. I will see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and never give up. Moral of the story: you do not become a fluent English speaker in one day. You become fluent by practicing a little every day, learning from your mistakes, believing in yourself, and never giving up. Small daily efforts always lead to great success. The end.